Right guys, this is just a follow on from the last video. I basically went into the last video off the cuff, never done a video with voice before, just wanted to test it, had no plan as to what I was going to talk about. So I've made a list of a few things that I wanted to mention. It'll kind of cover most things you will need to play the game to its fullest, really, without giving away any secrets. Say secrets, that's not the best word to use, but without giving away what how to beat the game easily. So I don't want to ruin the fun for you. The whole point of playing the game is learning what beats what's the best combos and things like that. So I don't want to ruin any of that side of the game for you. I just want to help you with a few tips that could easily be missed. So first things first, mission info. Check it every single mission. Don't go into a mission without looking at this first. You can easily lose a run by ignoring this. I've seen it happen to people on Twitch plenty of times. So, what's important about this? That is the most important thing, the length of the map. So, that's 70. That's 350. So you can see the differences between the two are gigantic, and the way that you will approach the different size maps are going to be completely different. So you don't want to be caught off guard going into this map with the wrong loadout, because you'll die and have to restart the entire game again just because you didn't click this one button. So say for example, if I took out a sniper and some pipsqueaks and thought, yeah, I'll be fine with that, maybe take these as a bit of a decoy. Well, sniper will start here and he's almost in range already. Like, they only have to move to there, I think. So they've barely got to move anywhere at all, and sniper's in range. So he's going to die very quickly. Turrets are only, there's hardly any space for buildables on the 70-meter map. So again, turret combination on this map, terrible. So on another map, this loadout might seem great. You probably think, oh yeah, I've used this loadout loads of times on other maps, it's been brilliant. This doesn't look very difficult, just got a few war fighters, blah blah blah. If you're on this screen for example, yeah, that's nice and easy, that loadout's perfect. Well, it's not, because of the length of the map. This loadout is pretty awful for this length map. So mission info is your best friend. Don't go into a mission without checking this first, it only takes 1 second. You can also see the difficulty here. So as you can see, this is 6 star out of 10, so that means it's quite difficult. For example, this one is 2 star. So it might have similar, it hasn't, but it might have similar loadout up here as, say, this. So if they had the same loadouts, but one of them's 6 star and one of them's 2 star, that just means that the one that's 2 star compared to 6 is going to spawn a third of the amount of units. So this is more about telling you how many units are going to be coming at you, rather than how difficult the units are. So look at this to see what you're facing. Look at this to see how big the map is and what the best units would be for that situation. And look at this to see how severe the waves are going to be. And then another really important thing is this. this shows you where the enemy are going to attack at their most intense. So these striped bars are waves, attack waves, where the enemy are going to swarm in at you, basically. So, say for example this one, this attack wave is right at the beginning of the mission. Now, if this was a harder mission, like say if this was 8-star or whatever, I might be able to find one in a second to show you. But if it was a difficult mission and you had like buggies and jeeps, this with the bar right at the beginning, I refer to this as a rush wave, a rush mission. Basically, it just means that they're sending something powerful at you right at the beginning of the game before you've really had a chance to build up combat points and prepare your defences and build a solid army and all that type of stuff. You're getting rushed down, and you kind of go into a bit of a panic, trying to figure out how to stop a jeep rush or a Tanya rush, for example. It can be quite frustrating at first when you don't know what you're doing, but it can be even more frustrating if you didn't even know that it was going to be coming. If you check the mission info, you will know that it's coming. You'll see this bar, you'll think, oh dear, I'm going to get rushed down, I'm going to need to take something appropriate to deal with that rush. I'm not going to spoil any surprises about, like or secrets about what you need to take to deal with rushes. That's the fun part of the game. I'll let you figure that all out for yourself. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to need to prepare for rushes. So I say this, for example, it's not right at the beginning, but it's quite early on. So you know that a buggy is going to be coming out very soon after the wave starts. You're going to need something to defend from that buggy. These show you when the heroes come out, these exclamation marks, so you can prepare. You know that around about this time you're going to be expecting a hero unit to come out, so you're forewarned. So like say this one for example, this is a good one. You got a bar right at the beginning of the mission. You got a jeep. Now it doesn't necessarily mean that the jeep is going to come out during this bar. It might come out during this bar. It doesn't tell you what's coming out where, but it does give an indication that it might be coming out right at the beginning. So it's just really important to check your mission infos to prepare accordingly. Okay. So next thing, I can show you from this screen. It's probably easier in the game, but I'll show you from this screen for now. In between these striped bars are different colours. So I think that'll be a red bar. I can't quite tell because I don't know whether the dark bit is the green and the light bit is the red. I think that's probably right. So say for example this is red. That's green. This will be orange. You know that you're not going to win this game very quickly because of how intense it is. So you need to plan your push for the enemy objective in the right time. If you try and push a mission too early and it fails, you can end up getting yourself in serious trouble. Where if you plan your push, say for example here, you get swarmed here, and then you got a break, and then you get swarmed, and then you got a break. You might plan your push to try and win the mission here. And so what you would do is save up money and build up pip supply and stuff like that, ready for this bit. And then as soon as this bit's approaching, say around here, that's when you let all of your men die that are already on the battlefield, and then spawn them all in one gigantic blob. And then that way you'll have a huge blob going up that are going to reach the enemy objective in the green bar area. I did mention in the previous video that you want to fight in blobs so you don't get picked apart one by one. So that's the main reason that you'd look for these opportunities. It's for when you want to plan your blobs, basically. Also, if you see a mission that looks like you're not going to be able to complete it till the end of the mission, like this one for example. So let's say you think, oh, I'm not going to be able to complete it till here. Well, now you can start planning what you spend your combat points on. Then you might think, well, I've got a long time to prepare for this, so I'm going to spend it on upgrades, veterancy. Where if this was reversed, this bar was reversed and this striped bit was here, you might think, I don't want to reach that striped bit, I want to try and win the mission before I reach that. So then you might not bother with the veterancy and just try and get as many men out as you can, as fast as you can, and try and win the mission before it reaches the striped bit. So, mission info, it's your best friend. Don't forget about it. Don't go in unprepared. Okay, I'll just start a mission to show you the next bit. This is probably not the best mission to show you on. Let me just have a think what would be the most appropriate. Oh, yeah, this one will probably be the most appropriate. As you can see, I'm trying to do a run where I made one recruitment purchase and then I thought I'd try and make a run where I didn't spend any points. But okay, so if you're going to, I mentioned in the previous video, if you're going to be playing on general difficulty, these are your first purchase you want to get to prevent the rushes from overwhelming you, and then you can use these to use your emergency cash. These are okay, but not amazing. They're alright, they're pretty good. I like the academy, I like the extra experience. It gives you more combat points, gives you a chance to make decisions on the fly about whether to spend them on more cash or more pip supply, that type of thing. So I usually go recruitment center, academy, vehicle bay, and during that time, if I see a mission where I'm going to be using the base turret, which is actually, that's this mission here, the first 70-meter one is when I usually do this. So I know I'm going to be using the base turret, I know it's a short map, and I'm going to be using the base turret a lot, so I would buy this because it means that you can use your base turret for longer. So although I go for recruitment and academy and vehicle bay in that order, I will also take this as and when I think I'm going to need it. So I'm not doing this mission quite yet, so I won't buy it quite yet. If I just have a little look at what I'm going to be taking into this mission. Okay, so mission info. Oh, that's not the right map. That's the other reason. There you go, that's a perfect example. That's just reminded me of another thing that I've forgotten about to mention. I clicked mission info then to see what I was facing. If I hadn't clicked mission info, I wouldn't have realised that I was on the wrong map. So I would have kitted out my units for this map, forgetting that I just checked this map and forgot to put it back on again. So there's another reason. Mission info, best friend, don't forget it. And just to double check, because general difficulty, you've got one life, you don't want to mess up. Before you start the mission, once you've loaded out, let's say that's what I'm taking in, don't hit deploy immediately, just click on map, just double check, well, that's the double check, then triple check that you're on the right mission. You don't want to lose a run by forgetting that you're on the wrong map. Okay, so I'm on the right map. I want to take the right loadout, obviously, according to what I'm facing here. I don't really want to give too many tips away as to how to face these the best as you can, but I'll try and confuse you by taking in some things that are good and some things that are bad. That way, I'm not giving any clues away as to what you should take in. Okay, this is the reason that I wanted to do this map. I want to show you how to use the tow. Now, this map in particular is actually bad for the tow. But that's why I want to use it on this map in particular, because I want to show you that even on a bad map, the tow's actually still useful. Let me just double check I haven't forgotten anything. Okay, good to go. Okay, just pause it a second. Right, obviously I mentioned about checking when you want to push for complete the mission. During this bar, the green bar, that's when you're planning on winning the mission. So don't try and push during this section here, because you're just going to end up wasting money and stuff. So this is the push section. But the thing I wanted to mention was while you are fighting, while all the battles going on and everything, you want to keep your eye out on what the enemy spawns are doing, what the enemy is spawning in, basically. So, say for example, just putting some men on the field so they get to do some fighting. This exclamation telling you that the hero's coming out is only there the first time that you meet a hero. So if I meet Bubba again on another mission, I'm not going to have this symbol to let me know when he's coming, basically. This is only to warn you that, right, this is the first time you're going to meet something new. You best be prepared, plan accordingly. So in this situation, you don't need to do this, but in ordinary situations, you do. What you need to do is keep an eye out on their backline. Look out for what's spawning in. The best time to look is just before a wave and around the start of a wave, because obviously that's when the majority of the bad guys get spawned in. Like, if they're going to spawn in, I can't see where that guy is. He's hiding. Yeah, so the majority of the time they spawn the best stuff in during these striped bars. So that's when is the best time for you to keep looking to see if a buggy or a jeep or a hero spawning in. Now, you don't just keep the screen here. You want to see what's going on, obviously, but just keep scrolling left and right. Do your little thing, whatever you want to do. Like, say, I want to get him out. I want to get these out. I want to upgrade this. I shouldn't have upgraded then. You should always wait till you can fully upgrade before you do it, because now I've just wasted them 2 combat points. I did mention that in the last video. So while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, you just keep scrolling left and right, just to make sure you know what's coming and you're prepared. If you don't keep scrolling left and right, so like, say for example now I know there's a hero coming, if I'm just here, not paying attention, thinking, oh, I'm going to get some pipsqueaks out, I'm going to upgrade this, shall I use a base turret, and then, oh shit, I'm being rushed by a jeep. Oh my god, there's a hero coming, and he's already on top of me. That wouldn't have been an issue if you'd have been keeping looking round here. You would have had all of that time to prepare. But because you weren't looking at the back line, you were focusing on what's going on here, you're now caught off guard. You've got Bubba right in your face, splatting your vehicles, killing all your mercenaries, or whatever they're called, pipsqueaks. And yeah, it's just, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you don't keep on looking. If you did keep on looking here, you could have killed Bubba before he even reached you. I'm not going to give any secrets away as to how you could have killed him before he reached you, but you could have done. So yeah, important that is. Make sure you keep looking at the back line so you don't get caught off guard. And then the next thing I want to mention is the tow turret. There's a lot of complaints about the tow turret being, well, being terrible, basically, not being able to use it because it keeps missing its target. Now, yes, it can hit obstacles, but that's just common sense. Of course it can hit obstacles. There's an obstacle in a way. That's what an obstacle's meant to do, is get in the way. But what people are complaining about is it missing the target. Say like if a jeep's coming up. Unfortunately, it looks like I might accidentally win the mission. Let's hope that they beat me back. So people are complaining that when a vehicle comes along and they've already got a turret placed down, the vehicle comes along, the turret misses. Well, that's because it's not a homing missile. Technically, tow turrets are guided missiles. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to win this fight by accident. Technically, tow turrets are guided missiles, not homing missiles, which just means that there's a person aiming it, and people miss. So you can't be surprised that something that someone's aiming misses. It's not computer controlled or anything like that. It's just some guy on a remote control. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to use that as an example to show you how to use it. But what you would do, as your men are on the field and a buggy comes in or whatever, you wait until that vehicle stopped moving before you deploy your tow turret. Once it stopped moving, your tow turret can't miss. It's 100% accurate against a stationary object. The only thing that can happen is it hits an obstacle in the way. But then that's your fault if it hits an obstacle, because you've put the turret in between. Right, you've put an obstacle in between the turret and your target, so you've only got yourself to blame in that case. So wait till the vehicle stops moving, and then choose a placement where the tow has got a clear line of sight. And then that's how you use a tow turret with 100% success. If you have already deployed a tow turret, there's one there, unfortunately I can't complete that quickly, but I'll do it while I'm talking. So if you deploy a tow turret against a stationary object and it's now killed it, now that tow turret is vulnerable. So now you need to plan on trying to protect it. Tow turrets will die within a couple of shots, so you can't complain about them being weak, because they're not meant to be strong. You're meant to protect them. You're not meant to let them get shot. So in the event that you do deploy a tow turret and it's now exposed, just try and keep your front line in front of the turret that you've just placed. So say for example, my men are here, the buggy comes in, I put a tow turret there which shoots the buggy once the buggy's stopped. I now know I need to get my front line in front of the tow turret to protect it. And then you just plan accordingly around there. And then the next time a buggy or something comes in, you'll put another tow turret, say there. And then you know that that's now your front line. And the tow turrets are fantastic if you use them correctly. If they don't die, if you manage to protect them, they do so much damage so quickly. They're one of the best anti-vehicle units in the game, and they're only 65. And if you get the engineering upgrade where it makes them cheaper, they're only like 32 cash. Then it's like you got something worth 32 cash that can destroy. Well, in 2 shots, it can destroy a Puma. So you just have to put 2 tow turrets down. If a Puma comes along, put 2 tow turrets down, blast, dead. It's dead immediately, taking no casualties for 65 cash. There is no more efficient way. Well, there is one more efficient way, which I was actually just about to bring up. But there is virtually no more efficient way to destroy vehicles than using tow turrets. So just practice with them. Wait till the target vehicle stopped moving before you deploy it. Deploy it in a place where there's no obstacle in the way. And then protect them by getting your front line in front of the tow turret so you don't leave it exposed. So the next most efficient way of dealing with vehicles and heroes is mines. Now I'm going to just pause game for a second. A lot of people don't use mines or like them or forget about them or whatever, but mines are the best, or say not necessarily the best, but the most efficient unit, anti-tank unit in the game. You can kill a hero with 1 mine. You can kill a jeep with 1 mine. Now let's say for example a jeep is the same price as a Puma, so 110. You can kill a 110 cost vehicle for 15 cash. You can't get more efficient than that. So all you need to do is learn how to place the mines in a position that it will connect. So you just look for choke points. Like obviously this mission's easy, it's got bridges. You can just put 3 mines across there, 3 mines across there. No jeep can now pass without dying. So you keep your front line around here to kill any infantry coming, so the infantry don't trigger the mines. And then you know that if a buggy does come or a jeep, it will kill your infantry, yeah, but it won't get any further than that because you've got mines placed down. You can also use mines, cover the entire map in mines. It's funny, I enjoy doing it, but it's obviously not necessary. The best thing to do is wait until a vehicle is engaging your infantry, and then just try and predict what path it's going to go, and then put them in choke points along the path that you predict. Alternatively, you can just set up an entire strip across the map. So you can just put 1 there, there. Now nothing can pass that line without triggering at least 1 mine. So that's like the safest way to do it. It's just not necessarily the most efficient way. Now there is one drawback to mines. The enemy rockets can explode them. So on missions where there's rockets, I don't recommend taking mines. Because if you take mines and you've got a tank on the mines, and a rocket blows the mines up, it'll blow your tank up. So yeah, don't take mines if the enemy's got rockets. Take a tow turret instead. Obviously, you could just take a Puma or a tank, but I'm talking about efficiency, not the best unit. Okay, let me have a think. See if I've missed anything. Howitzers. That's probably a good one to mention. Oh, also, when you're fighting, try to always keep one medal combat point available. Just so if you need to get an extra bit of cash from the cash button for emergencies, then you can spend it on cash rather than on using your emergency supply for cash. It's just good to keep one free, just so you've got that flexibility. It's mainly important on the long missions that take like 10-15 minutes and you've upgraded your cash button to 150. So obviously spending a medal for 150 cash is really good in that case. So just keep one medal available, then if everything goes wrong and you lose your whole army, you can use one medal to get 150 cash and get a tank out. And then at least you've stabilised. Gives you time to have a little think about how you're going to proceed from there. Okay, I'm going to... that's got a howitzer on, yeah. So I'll do this one as an example. So you got a howitzer. Obviously, first thing you do before you put your load out is to have a look at the map, look at the difficulty, look where the waves are coming, plan everything out. I'm not going to give you any tips as to how to use this information. You can figure all that out for yourself. This is just telling you that you should be using this information. Okay, so you got howitzer. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can deal with a howie. I will help you in this case rather than let you work it out for yourself, because it's not clearly obvious and you might not ever work it out for yourself, so I will actually help you. Okay, let me just, I think that'll be good enough. Okay, first things first, drones. That's how most people deal with howies. Taking some drones. As soon as the timer, the 1 minute 30 timer is up on the drones, you can then just fly them in, destroy them. Howie done, no problem. It only costs, I think it takes 4 drones to kill a howie, so it costs 40 cash to kill a howitzer without any skill involved, and it only, like you can get rid of it in a minute and 30 seconds. So that's the easiest way to deal with it. There is an easier way to deal with it actually, by using the IC7 bulwarks. If I can find one, there it is. So if you use this, I think there's about a 40-second window on it now that you can't use it until 40 seconds has elapsed. But you can just fire one of these at it, and that's the best way to destroy one. But you want to be using this for other things like tanks and heroes, so that's the most efficient way, and the IC7 is the best way. But there is another way. Just in case you haven't got any drones or IC7s, then you don't need to panic. There is another way, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Alright, so before you start a match, make sure you're on the right mission. I'm on the right mission. I've got my load out. Time to go. So I want my vehicle first. That's the first thing you should do in every mission, try and get your vehicle out. So just send enough troops out to get enough experience to unlock your first vehicle. That's step one. Anytime you've got vehicles, that is step one. Okay, that's the Howie. That's your target. Now, we've actually been lucky in this case. A lot of times that Howie will spawn there, not there. And if you can see quite clearly, in front of that is a nice big shot blocker. Now this applies in quite a few missions, but the final mission is like the most obvious, and that is the drones will hit obstacles. So you can't just fire a drone. Say if this Howie was here, you can't just fire a drone and expect it to hit. You've got to make sure that it's not going to hit any obstacles in the way. Right, now if you look, this is what I wanted to show you. See that Howie there? It's not doing anything. Why is it not shooting? It should be destroying me. Well, the reason it's not shooting is because I've only got one vehicle or troop. I've only got one thing on the battlefield, and the Howie is designed to target groups. So if you only have one thing on the battlefield, the Howie doesn't shoot. So you've instantly solved the problem of how to deal with a Howie if you haven't got drones or IC-7s. You just deploy things in singles. So obviously a single pipsqueak, he's not doing anything. He's not going to be able to solve the problem. Single Warpip, he ain't going to do anything. He's not going to solve a problem. A single heavy gunner might possibly. You know, like if you spread them out, if you had a single heavy gunner here, wait till he gets to there and then spawn another, wait till he gets to there and then spawn another. That's one option, you know, that's a possibility. But obviously vehicles, that is the best way to deal with Howies when you haven't got drones. So you might now think, right, I'm going to take out an LRV. Don't. I will warn you right now, don't take out an LRV, because as soon as the LRV spawns some men, the Howie now targets it, and then he splats your entire spawn and your vehicle can only take 2 Howie hits and your vehicle's dead. So the LRV is possibly the worst thing you can take against a howitzer, so just don't take it. You wanna go drones, if not drones, Pumas, if not Pumas, tanks. That's what you want. If you can't take any of them, and you're stuck with like an infantry build because you've either mismanaged your resources or you've just been unlucky on your rolls, then you can still get round it. So I know that if I spawn some troops now, the howitzer's going to shoot. So I've got some crappy little pipsqueaks here. So I'm going to spawn them pipsqueaks. Howitzer's going to shoot. It's going to hit the pipsqueaks, and then I deploy the rest of my troops. That way the Howie hasn't just splatted everything that I've just deployed. I've actually, I've sent out a decoy. Now I've got a little bit of time. He's shot again now, but I've had a little bit of time to advance up the field and kill some stuff. I've still got some people alive. Now I can deploy some more. Spread them out a little bit. If you can spread your troops out a little bit when you're facing a Howie, if you can't defeat it in the other ways, then you're gonna have loads more success. But realistically, what you want to do is just take in some drones and just splat, splat, splat. And then problem solved. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So there you go. There's all your different tips on how to deal with a Howie. So the next thing, I might be able to show you on this mission, but it's not the best mission to demonstrate. But I'll see if I can show you. Okay, so when you're playing a mission, towards the start of the mission, just scan the battlefield and look for explosives. Now, you can use these explosives offensively, like by trying to explode them, say for example then when the Jeep was going past, which is great, that's what you want to do, but the most important way, this is a little bug here, where he's chasing this, that's funny, oh my god, look how far he chased that, that was hilarious. Yeah, the game's still in early access, so you will get little bugs like this. You just have to laugh at it and carry on. No point in getting upset about it. So yeah, you scan the battlefield, you look for explosives, and then you try and you drone them basically to prevent you from getting blown up by them. That's the real reason that you destroy explosives on the battlefield, not offensively to try and destroy the enemy as they're walking past. Yeah, that's great, that's what you want to do, but the most important thing is to clear them out of your path so you don't get splattered by them. Alright, see if there's any more things that I need to mention before I go. Last thing, oil derricks. Now, oil derricks are dead tempting to just get down straight away so you can start earning cash straight away. Don't do that. They'll get destroyed and they might not even pay for themselves, never mind give you a profit, while at the same time put you in danger of getting base camped, spawn camped, whatever you want to call it, and they're just really risky, especially if you're a bit inexperienced and you don't know the best way to use them. So with things like oil derricks and pump jacks, you don't want to start putting them down until you've got a solid front line. Now, I don't even recommend taking them into missions unless you've got vehicles. So that's my first advice with oil derricks. Don't use them unless you're taking vehicles. If you do take vehicles, don't place them until you've got a vehicle out. You need to protect your oil derricks. So wait until you've got a vehicle, preferably quite far away from your base, so your front line is quite far away. So if things go wrong, you've still got time to get another vehicle out before that event is then spilled over into your economy. So get a tank out, then get your oil derricks down, and you'll be much better for it. And I think that's about it. So yeah, I hope that's covered virtually everything that you need to complete the game now. I've tried not to give too many clues about what is the best unit comp against what enemy. That's the fun of the game. You want to learn that for yourself, obviously. But, hope you have good fun playing the game. It's a great game. Take care, guys. See you soon.